Hello everyone, I'm Bad Pan, the bad who got internet after 90 days. In today's video, we're gonna see how to create that Fierce to Fathom microphone system in Unity. This video is gonna be put inside a series of video covering Unity tips and tricks, and also in another series of video which covers mechanics from the game Fierce to Fathom in Unity. I have published my own retro horror game called Fractured Psyche. It's a psychological horror game. If you guys like this stuff, I'll be happy if you could check it out and share your thoughts. All the files used and created in this video are gonna be in my GitHub. You can find the link to it in the description of this video. With all that being said, let's put on the mask and begin. Making this mic is actually pretty easy. It's not actually that hard. So let's go ahead and create it. So in Fierce to Fathom, we have a slider. So we're gonna first create that UI canvas. We make a UI canvas first. You can make the canvas settings like me, 1920 by 1080. Put this one at 0.5. My resolution is 1920 by 1080, so I put it like my screen resolution. Then I need a slider, so I go UI slider, I make a slider, I go to my scene view, I press on this 2D, then I'm gonna select my canvas and press F to go to my slider, and you see this is my canvas, and I'm gonna rotate my slider 90 degrees to the up way, so it is facing up. Now I'm gonna take my slider and move it like here. It is better to anchor it to the right. So if you scale the screen, you see if you put it on free aspect, you scale it down, it is attached to the right side of the screen. So you go to this anchor section, hold Alt, so the position also changes. Now I'm gonna go to this one. I don't need this circle here, so I'm gonna open up my slider and delete this handle slide area. I'm gonna select my slider, press T or select the rec tool from this rec tool tab. I have Unity 6.3 LTS. Then I'm gonna scale it this way. When you hold Alt, it's gonna scale on both sides, and I'm also gonna do it for vertical. I think this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. So if you see, if I change the slider's value to 1, it goes up. It is 0, it is down. So I'm gonna change this inside color. Go to this fill. You can change the color to maybe a little bit orange. This is okay. I think this is okay. And I'm gonna put the slider's value to 0. And that's a very simple UI slider for our mic system. You can actually use better UI for it. The next thing we need is a script to make the microphone. So I'm gonna create a new C# script. I'm gonna call it Fierce to Fathom microphone. Yeah, mic is okay. Mic system. I'm gonna open it up. So I'm gonna remove everything and make everything from the base. So we need some values up here, which I'm gonna explain to you guys. First, we need a public float. I'm gonna call it loudness threshold, which I'm gonna be putting it at default to 0.1 F. It is a public value. You can change it from outside. This is actually the mic's sensitivity. So I'm gonna say mic sensitivity. The next thing we're gonna need is a public boolean. I'm gonna call it is hiding, which is equal to false by default. It is actually our check boolean. Why am I making this? It is because I don't want the mic to always check the game. I want it to activate only if I'm inside the closet, for example. The next thing we need is a private string. I'm gonna name it player mic name, underline name. As the name suggests, it is the player's mic name, microphone's name. Then we also need a private audio clip. I'm gonna call it clip record. So what's this one? This is our temporary audio place where we put our audio stuff. We're gonna need it in the upcoming minutes. You're gonna see in the upcoming minutes. I'm gonna explain more on this. Then we need a private integer. We're gonna call this one sample number, which is equal to 128 by default. This is the sample number we analyze. So these are the number of samples we're gonna analyze. You can increase it or decrease it. The amount that I found okay was 128. So I'm gonna put it at 128 by default. Then we need an array of float. And this float is gonna hold our samples, 128 samples inside this float. Then we can, check it. So I'm gonna say wave data. So I'm just gonna say holds the samples. So with that done, let's go ahead and make a void start. So inside void start, we're gonna tell our wave data to have 128 houses for the 128 samples that we're gonna put inside it. I'm doing it inside void start, so it is more optimized and doesn't allocate memory a lot. So I'm just gonna say wave data equal to new float equal to sample number. So it's gonna open 128 spaces inside the wave data for our sample numbers. As easy as that. The next line is inside this, first we're gonna check if we have any microphones attached to our device. So we're just gonna say if microphone, Unity has a microphone, default microphone, dot devices dot length is bigger than 0. So what this line says is if we have at least one microphone more than 0, what we're gonna do is, so I'm gonna say we take the first microphone, so we say player mic name is equal to microphone dot devices house number 0. Then we're gonna say clip record the temp audio equal to microphone dot start. This microphone dot start is a method that is gonna record audio and put it inside this audio clip. So we're just gonna say for this device name we need this player mic name. So we're gonna record from this mic with this name, which is equal to our first microphone. Then we're gonna say if we wanna, record it in a loop. In our case, we're gonna do it. How long it's gonna be? I'm gonna say 999. And for the sample, for the frequency, I'm gonna put it on 4400,000 hertz, which is not important at all. It's just a method that I'm using, and it is actually going to record the audio, so we can actually check it later. So these are 2 lines we need. So if we're done with void start, we can go ahead into our void update. Inside our void update, the first optimization trick we're going to use is check if is hiding is false. We don't even check. So how do we do that? We say if not is hiding, return. So what is this? Behind this is hiding. It is actually like writing false. Instead of writing it like this, I just wrote this. If is hiding is equal to false, then we return. We say don't check if not hiding. If we are hiding, then we're gonna do some stuff. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have a float. I'm gonna call it current loudness. So inside here we're gonna do a function that is gonna take the mic's loudness and put it inside this one. Right now we don't have that. First let's go ahead and create it, then we'll come back and continue inside this void. So I'm gonna comment this out so we have no problems. So if we go down here, we say private float. It is gonna return a float value because we're gonna just call it straight here. I put the value inside this current loudness. So we have a private float. I'm gonna call it get mic loudness. You can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name it this. So this is the function that is gonna give the mic's loudness to our float, which is gonna check it. So if we need an integer, I'm gonna call it mic position, which is equal to microphone dot get position, and we're gonna give it our player mic's name. What it does is it's gonna find our player mic's position and give it to our integer, so we know that get our mic's position and put it inside this integer. So we know, for example, house number 2 is actually our microphone, and we're checking that one. For example, we're gonna check if mic position is less than our sample number, then we're going to return 0. So we're going to return nothing. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to check if we actually have enough samples to check. If we don't have enough samples to check, we're going to have an error. So I'm just going to say for error here, so you guys know that these 2 lines are going to check if we have enough samples to check. If we don't have enough samples, it's going to give an error. So I'm just going to write this here for that error. This is actually where it's gonna take the microphone's data and check it. So I'm just gonna say clip record dot get data. What is our clip record? Our clip record is our audio clip. So we're gonna get data from it, and you see that this get data needs some stuff. It needs a float called data, and it needs some offset samples. So what we're gonna do is for the sample, for where to put it, I'm gonna give wave data, and for which one offset sample, so it knows where what data to get, I'm gonna give it our mic position minus sample number. So what this line does is it takes the samples, the 128 samples that we made up here. So we have the data now, and it puts it inside this wave data. So we open space in void start, and we filled it up inside our void, this void. Once we filled it up, we're gonna check it. So we say we make a float. I'm gonna call it max loudness, which is equal to 0 in this case. Down here, I'm gonna say for each variable, I'm gonna call it sample in wave data. So what this line does is it's gonna search all the houses inside our wave data, all the 128 samples. So what it does is it goes through all the 128 samples of our wave data, and it's gonna do something to it, which you'll see in the upcoming minutes. So we need a float. The audio noise is actually it has a positive value and a negative value. Since we want to check a number and we only want positive values for our comparison, we're gonna be using something called an absolute, which is actually inside math. And what it does is any number you give it returns a plus value. Even if you give it, for example, minus 11, it's gonna give you positive 11, plus 11. This is some math stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say math f dot absolute, and for the absolute I'm gonna put the sample. What is this sample? The sample is actually each of these houses. So it's gonna take wave data house number 0. It's gonna take the absolute number of it and put it inside this float. If it is positive, it's gonna keep the positive. If it is negative, it's gonna make it positive and then put it inside this absolute sample. Then we go ahead and check if the absolute sample is bigger than our max loudness. If it is, we say max loudness equal to our absolute sample. We make a temporary float, and inside this for each, we're gonna search. If we find a value bigger than max loudness, for example, our wave data house number 2 is actually, for example, 1. It has a value of 1. If it has a value of 1, so 1 is actually bigger than 0. So we make max loudness 1, and we're gonna do it for each of the 128 samples. So we find the highest amount and then we return the highest amount. So what we do is we just say return max loudness, as easy as that. So all this get mic loudness is gonna do is gonna find the loudest noise inside this 128 samples, and it's gonna give it to us. Then we're gonna check if the loudest noise is actually bigger than the, for example, loudness threshold that we have checked. If it is actually bigger than that, for example, we're gonna alert the enemy. Now we can come up here. I'm gonna put it out of the comment, then we say get mic loudness. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a temporary float. I'm gonna make it equal to the loudest noise that has come from our microphone. We put it inside here. It's gonna return a number. For example, it's gonna return 0.25. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check if our current loudness is bigger than our loudness threshold. So what it does is it's gonna take the current loudness and check if it is bigger than this value. If it is, it's gonna alert the enemy. I'm just gonna say alert enemy. And that is everything you're gonna need for your microphone setup. For example, let me just make a very simple private void. I'm gonna call it alert enemy, and inside it I'm gonna say debug.log enemy heard you, for example. And I'm just gonna say alert enemy. I'm gonna call it here. And one thing I just thought about now is to add a boolean. So we only alert enemy once. We kind of, for example, the enemy comes after us and we die. I'm gonna make up here is I'm gonna make a public, a boolean enemy heard, which is equal to false by default. And when I'm inside the alert enemy, first I'm gonna check if enemy heard, if actually enemy heard us, if the enemy actually heard us, we don't want to continue. And the reason I'm adding it here is because I only want to run this private void once. So the enemy doesn't get alerted, for example, twice, or for example, 1,000 times, which is gonna introduce bugs. And that's exactly the reason I did it. Then I'm gonna say enemy heard is equal to true here. So for the first time it is false. It is gonna come here. It is gonna make it true. It is gonna alert the enemy. If it happens the second time, it comes here. It is true from before, so it just returns and doesn't do anything. That is all you need for this to work. And one thing remains, and that is our slider. We didn't connect our microphone system to our slider. So let's go again inside our script and create a value for our slider. So we say public slider. You see this Unity UI? If you can't find it, you're gonna add this up here using Unity engine.ui. When you make it like this, you can actually add slider here. I'm gonna call it mic slider. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect our float, our current loudness, to our slider value. First, we're gonna check if our slider, mic slider, is not equal to null. If it is not null, if it has been referenced, we're gonna say mic slider dot value equal to our current loudness, and that is everything we're gonna do. So we're gonna attach our script to an empty game object. I'm gonna call it mic manager. I'm gonna give this to our mic. It needs a slider. I'm gonna give it my slider. Right now, it's not gonna do anything because nothing is connected to my PC, but as I'm recording my YouTube video with my phone, since I don't have a microphone, I have a phone that I'm recording on. I'm gonna check if I can actually connect my phone to this while I'm recording, so my voice might go to a little bit right or left, I'm not sure. I hope the sound is coming okay. So let's go, and I'm gonna use an application to add my voice to my game, so it is okay. Now I'm gonna connect it using USB. So now my microphone is connected. I hope it is recording voice. Yeah, it is. So let's go ahead and check it out. So we have this mic manager. If I click on is hiding, you see that this value is going up and down. And since our this one was very low, our threshold was very low, the enemy heard us. If I make it upper and I make this boolean false, you see that I'm talking and it is not changing. And if I clap, no, the audio is not gonna go that way up. So I'm gonna make it a little bit lower. So when I talk, it is gonna, increase the value. You see that I'm talking and it is, and if it reaches 0.2 value, it is gonna run that void, which alerts the enemy. You can move and talk with this one. You can make it upper or less. You see if I make the value go up, which is max on 1, you see that it is not gonna do anything. But if I make it little, you see that it did that. Hello? You see that it alerts the enemy. So that was how to make the microphone system like Fathom in Unity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like really helps. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can tell me anything in the comment section below. I would be really happy to read all of your comments. Hope all the very best for you and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.